Starting in 2001, California's World Extreme Cage Fighting featured some of the most famous MMA stars in action before they hit the big time. Urijah Faber, Jose Aldo, Dominic Cruz, Brian Stann, and Cowboy Cerrone are just a few of the UFC headliners who made their names in the promotion. The WEC Octagon may have been a few feet smaller than the UFC's version, but that was no reflection on the talent that fought inside of it. No other promotion in MMA history churned out the quality of competitor that the WEC did. Today we'll bring you bouts from the earlier days of some of the sport's biggest stars. Hey everyone, I'm Kenda Perez and welcome to the best of WEC. Brazilian fighter Jose Aldo dominated the featherweight division from the moment he first set foot on the blue canvas, knocking out his first 5 opponents. Aldo's explosive arrival earned him a title shot against champion Mike Brown. Outside of the octagon, Jose Aldo was a soft-spoken, broad-smiling guy who would rather talk about soccer than fighting. But when the bell rang, it was a whole nother story. Aldo had used lightning-quick footwork, creative striking, and killer instinct to beat 15 of his 16 opponents. His lethal combination of elbows, knees, and fists kept his opponents on their toes or put them out cold on the mat.
I think this is a huge fight for the fans. I'm a big fight fan. I would love to see this. We both have the capability of knocking each other out. We both have the capability of submitting the other guy. Maybe I'll crack him and I'll knock him out, and then people say, oh my God, he's the greatest ever.
Eu quero muito esse título. Eu acho que é o sonho de todo atleta, então chegou a minha vez, então treinei muito para conquistar ele.
Brown's wrestling background and jiu-jitsu training made him a bona fide threat on the ground. But it was his crushing right hand that struck fear into much of the division. Brown was on a 10-fight win streak of his own that included 7 finishes and a defeat of Urijah Faber that won him the title. At WEC 44, Aldo took on the champion in a main event billed as speed versus power.
Referee in charge of the action, Steve Mazzagatti.
All right, gentlemen, this is it. It's 5 rounds for the belt. It will be a clean and fair fight. Obey my commands, protect yourself at all times. Now hook them up.
So we are set to go for the featherweight title belt between Mike Brown and Junior Aldo.
Come on.
Set to go. Frank, this is about as slow as we've ever seen Jose Aldo move in any fight.
Being very respectful of the power of Mike Brown, the champ.
And it's Aldo who comes with the first big uppercut.
He ate an overhand right, though, afterwards.
Remember, both men have identical reaches at 70 inches. Oh, and the big kick. Difficult for both men to duplicate what their opponent would bring.
I thought that was a mistake for Jose Aldo to be so content to get pushed up against the cage like that. But he was able to push off the champ.
Where does Mike Brown go to find someone as fast as Jose Aldo? Right there. And where does Jose Aldo go to find someone as powerful as Mike Brown?
Mike Brown, I like how he's doing his double jab, pumping and trying to close the distance, staying safe. I think a good game plan for him would be to get in and push Jose Aldo against the cage, completely nullify his speed, and be able to really anchor in and use his strength advantage.
Big kick from Aldo, but Brown had his hands in defense. It's just
quick, right?
He is snapping those off.
Mike Brown's got great head movement, though. I mean, see how he's staying loose there?
Small cut open up on the right eye of Mike Brown. Just on his brow. Devastating knees of Jose Aldo. Look at that combination. And Brown's dazed momentarily. He grabs a single. Wow.
Power of Jose Aldo we see now early. With Mike Brown, the champion, keeping his composure. Looks like he did maybe get caught there, but was able to immediately close the distance on Jose Aldo, grabbing the single, and stuff the offensive onslaught of Jose Aldo, and looking for turn it around and get on top himself.
Mike Brown would be wise to possibly get Aldo on the ground, but the problem is getting him there.
Jose Aldo has a great takedown defense. Look at this. He's really stuffing off the single. Just came and gave him a knee. He's got the body lock. Look at the scrambling ability of Jose Aldo.
Yeah.
I mean,
Great balance.
Mike Brown locked on his waist right now, and he's having a hard time getting him down.
Brown working the inside leg, the right leg of Jose Aldo with those knees. And you've got to go all the way back to WEC 36 of November of 08, the last time Jose Aldo went past the first round. Great fight so far as we approach 1 minute to go here in this title fight for the featherweight belt. Mike Brown, the champion in the white trunks. Jose Aldo, the #1 contender in the black trunks.
Oh, switch kick. It looked like he was looking for the knee, and when Mike Brown didn't fully commit to the shot, he kind of just extended the leg and threw it into a kick to the body.
Brown looking for an opening. Aldo not a lot of movement with his head or his hands. Supremely confident in his speed.
We can also see an attitude in Jose Aldo's fighting style. Not only due to obviously the caliber of opponent he's facing in fighting the champ Mike Brown, but it's a 5-round fight. He's looking to go ahead and see how the first round feels.
That flying knee again.
It landed to the body. That was
under 10 seconds to go here in round #1.
Go back. Relax, relax, relax. All right, second round. Bring it on. Come on.
Here we go with round #2. Mike Brown in the white trunks, Jose Aldo in the black trunks. And Aldo with that calm demeanor. Brown now coming forward with a little more determination. Spinning back kick comes from Aldo. And now it's Aldo attacking. Brown goes into a defensive posture.
Mike Brown's trying to get the shot again. Look at again the takedown defense of Jose Aldo. It's just, we've always talked about his striking ability, his offensive ability. But you got to wonder if Mike Brown, the champ, can't put Jose Aldo on his back in this division. Who can?
Right. And Brown's in trouble. Brown is in trouble as Aldo goes to the mount. Now he takes the back. And we have not seen the champion in this situation before. Jose Aldo now is just teeing off on Mike Brown. Brown trying to survive. And that's it. Steve Mazzagatti ends it. We have got a new champion in the featherweight division. Jose Aldo. Too much speed, too much power on the night for Mike Brown. And Frank, I don't know how much damage he was doing there, but Steve Mazzagatti probably did the right thing because Mike Brown really wasn't in a position to defend himself.
Well, those blows are coming down really hard, and he had his legs completely stuck in, threw the legs in, and Mike Brown looked like he was just covering up, and that's one of the rules we all know as fighters. If you're not intelligently defending yourself and the other guy's raining down heavy leather, whether it's hitting full blast or if it's catching your gloves, they will stop the fights. Right here, Mike Brown, you know, he's trying to get the legs out, but he had to make more of an effort, and at this point you give up the mount again, you switch over. You can't just sit here and protect yourself because they will stop the fight. Here you see the blows coming down. They're not pitter-patter shots coming from Jose Aldo. At this point, the referee, Mazzagatti, has to protect the fighter, and like it or not, they're going to stop the fight. And as fighters, we all know that. In the dressing room, we're explained it. You have to move if you're in a bad position.
So things are very fluid in the WEC, and once again, we see a transfer of power. Urijah Faber yielded his belt to Mike Brown, and now Brown has to taste defeat to Jose Aldo, the new featherweight champion of the WEC. We now go inside the cage. Joe Martinez has the official word.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes 1 minute, 20 seconds of round number 2, stoppage due to strikes. For your winner by TKO victory and new WEC featherweight champion of the world, Jose Aldo Jr.
Jose Aldo successfully defended his belt over the next several years in both the WEC and the UFC, making him one of the most dominant champions in MMA history. Coming up next, the California kid, Urijah Faber. Welcome back. Featherweight kingpin Urijah Faber was far and away the biggest name in the WEC. Urijah Faber's second belt defense came in the form of undefeated Dominic Cruz, a decorated wrestler with fast hands. Just 21 years old, Cruz was granted an immediate title shot when he joined the WEC. That didn't sit well with Faber, who considered himself the organization's top dog. Faber said his game plan at WEC 26 was to, quote, spank the new kid, while the Dominator expected to impose his will and become the new champion. Little did anyone know at the time that WEC 26 would be the beginning of an MMA rivalry that would last for years.
Referee in charge of the action, Herb.
Gentlemen, we've gone over the rules. Let's have a nice, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions at all times. It's for the belt. Let's show these people something.
As you heard Herb Dean say, this one is for the belt. The WEC World Featherweight title on the line. Urijah Faber is the defending champion. Dominic Cruz, your challenger.
Ready to fight? Ready? Let's do it.
And Frank, I am not a betting man, but I just do not see this thing going past 2 rounds.
Urijah Faber just landed a right roundhouse. I mean, it caught the edge of his foot, but landed it right off the bat to Dominic Cruz. Just a testament to the guy's overall abilities. There he is, striking.
Urijah Faber right off the bat showing him all kinds of different shots.
He does. Urijah Faber really is a student of the game at MMA, you know. Overhand right, but Dominic Cruz landed a good kick. That was all shin across the top of Urijah's forehead. Dominic Cruz not backing down. That bravado is not something. He is here. He's for real. Landed a vicious uppercut.
And Urijah goes to work.
He landed right into a guillotine. Urijah Faber trying to get back up to his feet. Great hips. That's just awesome wrestling there, people.
Urijah Faber, the former Division I champion
Counter
from
to a
UC
guillotine.
Davis.
Urijah Faber was able to get back up to his feet, but then Dominic Cruz hit a phenomenal little knee tap, passed over. He's stuck in a vicious guillotine right now, though. If Urijah Faber gets that left hand through to his other hand, Dominic Cruz smart, sucking tight on the waist. He's in trouble. He needs to pop his head up. Oh, now this is bad. Bad, done. Oh, Urijah used it to get him out. He's tapping
out. That's it. That is it. How do you like the work of Urijah Faber? The speed and the pace just too much for Dominic Cruz.
Urijah Faber just had everything, and an answer for everything that Cruz came up with. Cruz was doing great techniques, went for the takedown, Urijah Faber got back up, reestablished a knee tap, but immediately got caught in the guillotine.
Well, Dominic Cruz talked a good game, and for the first minute or so, Frank, I thought he had the goods to do it, but there's just too many goods, too many different moves. Urijah Faber, as we've talked before, is the complete package.
He is. You know what I mean? Dominic Cruz not taking anything away from him. Here he's caught in the guillotine, but you know what? He fought Urijah Faber. You know what I mean? The number 2 guy in the world is a pretty bad dude, but you know what? You're not number 1.
And it was just a matter of time once he got him in that hole. Dominic Cruz has to tap out. We check in now with Joe Martinez for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 1 minute 38 seconds of round number 1. Submission by guillotine choke. And still the WEC featherweight champion, the California Kid, Urijah Faber.
Faber used his signature guillotine choke to ruin Cruz's perfect record. The two fought again 4 years later in the UFC, with Cruz evening the score and defending his bantamweight title. Coming up next, All-American Stann puts his knockout power on full display. You're watching the best of WEC. Welcome back to the best of WEC. At the same event that Cruz and Faber first fought, 2 more future UFC stars met. Stann and Steve Cantwell would go on to face one another in a WEC title fight, and then in the UFC. But on that night in 2007, they were up-and-comers in the first bout of the night. These undefeated light heavyweights both loved to throw heavy leather, and they also shared a knack for finishing fights in the first round. Stann, nicknamed the All-American, had picked up MMA while serving as a U.S. Marine. He dedicated his training for this fight to the memory of 4 of his fallen comrades. Cantwell was making his WEC debut after finishing all of his previous opponents, and Stann planned to give the Californian a rude welcome.
Your referee in charge of the action, Josh Rosenthal.
Gentlemen, remember the rules. I expect a clean fight, defend yourselves all times, obey my commands all times. Touch gloves, go back, let's do this.
All right, we are set to go from the joint in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is light heavyweight World Extreme Cage Fighting.
You ready? You ready?
Stann in the white trunks, Steve Cantwell in the red trunks, and it is on.
Nice inside leg kick to try to counter the jab. See already, Steve Cantwell's using a little more Muay Thai, a little more traditional style. He's enjoying the jabs, the kicks right there. That's the outside of the thigh, trying to hit the sciatic nerve. It looks like Stann's a little more of a boxing outlook here. Oh, okay, well, you know.
Going for a little combination there. Stann on the aggressor right now. Both men trading punches, going toe-to-toe. And he drops him quickly, and he's going to step in. Josh Rosenthal is going to step in and stop this.
It's a nice right hand right behind the chin. Caught you, hits that nerve. You go down.
Let's take a look at this one more time, because that was some of the best 10 seconds of fighting we've seen in a long time.
It was. Good exchange. Both guys firing off. Decent head movement going there. Left
Boom.
hook following with the right hand coming right behind the ear. Brian Stann did a good job. Again, see, moving ahead just enough to keep out of the blows of his opponent. And that hand came right behind, over the top of the left hand, fired right into the jaw.
And our official Josh Rosenthal saw enough. He decided to end this one. It's all about protecting the fighter, and he saw Steve Cantwell go down quickly. Brian Stann over there making sure that he's all right, but I understand that Steve Cantwell is not happy with that fight being stopped. And you, as a former fighter, know you always feel like you can keep going.
Yeah, especially, when you get caught quick. You feel like there's just, man, I didn't have an opportunity, so it is frustrating.
Right now, let's go to Joe Martinez for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, 41 seconds of round number 1, your winner by technical knockout and still undefeated from Scranton, PA, Brian Stann.
Brian Stann won his first 6 fights in the WEC by knockout and became the light heavyweight champion. Coming up next, a Cowboy aims to ride away with a statement victory. By 2008, Donald Cowboy Cerrone was 9-0 and ready for a step up in competition. Donald Cerrone had won all of his previous fights by submission. His tall frame and pedigreed striking coaches hinted at his danger on the feet, but his stand-up had never really been necessary. It would certainly be tested when he took on former champion Razor Rob McCullough, a 7-year veteran of the sport known for his vicious punching power.
I'm the former champion, soon to be champion again, so, the #1 contender spot. It means a lot to me at this point, so I'm ready to fight for it tonight.
I want to fight the old Rob, the Rob that was the champion, the guy that everyone was thought no one could beat. That's who I want to show up tonight. I hope that's the Rob that's here, the one that comes out gunslinging, ready to go, because I'm ready.
McCullough owned explosive victories against a range of opponents, and he was confident he'd rack up another one against Cowboy. This 2008 title eliminator on the undercard of WEC 36 turned out to be an instant classic.
Referee in charge of the action, Jorge Ortiz.
All right, we went over the rules. Remind you to protect yourself at all time. I want a clean fight. Touch them up, back up. Good luck to both of you.
So will it be Rob McCullough getting back in line to get back another shot at Jamie Varner, or will the Cowboy stay undefeated? We find out momentarily. Jorge Ortiz is our official inside the cage. This one's scheduled for 3 rounds.
You ready? You ready? Timekeeper, let's go.
And like a lot of people, I think I'm interested to see which Rob McCullough shows up. The one we saw prior to the Jamie Varner fight, or the one we saw at Jamie Varner's.
I think a lot of those questions were answered in the weigh-ins, because in the past when we've seen Rob McCullough not do well or not fight up to his potential, it was, I think, a little bit of a conditioning issue. Yep. He came in real heavy to some of those weigh-ins, and that caused the problem. I think he's...
Oh! And McCullough with the heavy fist connects early with the Cowboy.
The Cowboy went for a switch step, looked like he was going to throw a right hand too down the pipe. Got caught with his left hand being down a little bit low. He's a taller guy. He needs to keep his left hand at least up with his eyebrow to avoid that shot from Rob McCullough.
You talk about a guy who can throw some heavy leather. Razor Rob McCullough fits that bill.
Yeah, Rob McCullough is a powerful striker. I mean, very decorated. We've known that, that's what got him to the title, and that's what's probably going to bring him back into that contingency is is his striking ability.
He was very powerful against guys like Kit Cope and Richard Cleet Crunkleton, and then Jamie Varner got him in a stand-up affair. And Cerrone now using that reach.
Yeah, but again, Cerrone though, I don't really like his hand defense, to be honest with you.
Too low?
Yeah, it's a little bit low, and it's a little straight up and down. You see, he's posed a little bit easier of a shot for.
Oh!
Yeah.
And a big right connects, drops Cerrone to his knee, but he recovers quickly.
Wow, Cowboy just, you know what, some good resiliency, but he needs to figure something out because Rob McCullough's going to keep finding a home for that right hand. And it shouldn't be that easy to land a straight right hand when he's that, you know, with that much kind of a height difference also. I mean,
yeah, Rob's giving up a good 4 inches to Cowboy Cerrone and a 3-inch reach advantage.
Rob has his hands in a perfect spot. See, his hands are up by his eyebrows. Never drop lower than his cheekbones, up by his eyebrows. That's why he's, you know.
And something he didn't do in the Varner fight. Look how he's constantly moving his head, his hands. He's a tough target to hit.
Yeah, he is. You know, Jamie Varner, I've always was very impressed with his striking.
Right.
In the last couple fights, you know, he left a little bit to want to have. You know, here we see he's using the kicks.
Oh! And the Cowboy connects with a straight right, dropping McCullough to the canvas. Now he gets the full mount, and Cowboy's going to rain down some vicious elbows.
Rob McCullough's giving up the arm bar by posting up like that. He needs to figure out a way to get out of this and not giving up his arm at the same time.
Trying not to give up his back and do anything as he goes into a defensive position, but Cowboy certainly has the advantage, and McCullough now just trying to regroup.
What patience. I mean, I really thought Cowboy was on the losing end of that. Striking exchanges from McCullough. It looked like he was getting more and more comfortable, and the speed and height of Cerrone came through. He was able to fire a right hand right down the pipe and stun.
Donald Cerrone now is just railing down on those. He is just posturing up and then posting up the head of Razor Rob McCullough.
Yeah,
his mouthpiece has been knocked out.
Yeah, McCullough needs to be able to push one of those knees away or up and roll. He needs to go ahead and roll across his shoulders, holding on to the wrists of Cerrone.
He has to give up the back there, but
excellent.
a nice reversal.
Watch the triangle, though. Cerrone is one of the better guys off his back.
Trying to pull the head down.
He's very dangerous off his back, so Rob McCullough cannot fall asleep here. Pivoting on an arm.
Stop time, stop time, stop time, stop time, stop time, stop time.
What are we stopping for?
Time.
What?
Time. Stay neutral corner, mouthpiece.
Oh, the mouthpiece
came out.
That's correct. You got to put the mouthpiece in once there's a long time.
Right here. Give me some water.
Rob McCullough has had his moments while we have a brief break here. Watch this first connect.
Yeah, he was doing a switch step, boom, ran right into the right hand.
You ready, Rob? Let's go.
Rob McCullough again here. Donald Cerrone's left hand's in the bad spot. He got dropped again there. He's able to bounce right back up. Donald Cerrone has landed his own right hand. We're in a fight now. That's the striking game, guys. It's so fast that, you know, and that's why I feel that it's best to keep the basics sharp, you know, hands up high, because you never know. You blink for a second and you eat a shot. Donald Cerrone is still swaying that left hand. I mean, excellent. You know, he's a good kickboxer, no doubt about it. You know, those kicks, you know, he's setting up some very nice roundhouses. A little more of a traditional Muay Thai type of stance, though, you see he's in. A little more flat-footed, straight up and down, looking to go ahead and...
Oh, just tapped him.
With a jab, wow. I think Rob McCullough's still stunned from the...
I think you're right. And he gets caught again with a straight right, but the cage is his friend, but not this time. The Cowboy pounces and Razor's got nothing.
Can McCullough hold on? I think he's going to survive to the end of the round. He's going to wrap up the head.
Keep that mouthpiece in.
10 seconds to go. Can Razor Rob McCullough hold on for dear life? Will he see the second round?
He's going to make it, guys. Thank God. I want to see another round. Got to see another round.
Are you kidding me? Look at this action.
What
Just
a great straight right hand by Donald Cerrone. He timed it right. He went ahead and took the kick to throw it, but there he got dropped with the right hand. That's when he came in earlier with his left hand a little bit low. Still keeping it there, but he's fired some shots off here. He just, wow, what a, I mean, I think that jab dropping Rob McCullough is more of a constitution than he's, or a testament to the fact he's still hurt from the first knockdown.
I think in the cage.
What a nice other right. Fast hands. Donald Cerrone is long and he's using that reach.
Well, Rob McCullough said it in his pre-fight interview. He said this is going to be a bloody war, and he got just that in round one.
He called it.
Back up a little bit, Rob.
Donald Cerrone, Razor, Rob McCullough set to go at it once again as the fans here in Hollywood, Florida appreciate these two warriors.
Time. Let's go.
This is just round 2.
Cerrone is so composed for a younger fighter. I mean, wow, he's just, you know, he looks like he's been the one that's the former champ, you know, very composed, almost kind of like half asleep, you know. Look how relaxed he is.
He is just
He doesn't waste
sharpshooting
any
now.
energy.
Those punches were not getting through earlier. Now they are. McCullough still coming out throwing some big leather shots.
Cerrone's defense will still, you know, maybe that works for him, you know. I think he's leaving opportunities for McCullough, you know, to land those shots, which he's proven that he can drop Cerrone.
Rob McCullough maintaining that head movement.
Oh!
Takes a shot once again.
That's nice. See that? He went ahead, has Rob McCullough hurt, and he's going to go for the back. Rob McCullough pulled his knees up very good. He's got 2-on-1 wrist control. I don't think he's in a... Donald Cerrone's looking for
something.
Rob McCullough's getting dropped.
Oh my gosh.
Those shots to Cerrone are...
He gave him a fake. Well, he gives up the back now. This isn't good. And look at that. Once again, like he did in round number 1, he reverses on him. Rob McCullough does.
Watch the triangle. Donald Cerrone has an excellent triangle. He's already posted on the wrist. Rob McCullough needs to get off his knees, put one knee through. Oh, there the triangle came. Got out.
It.
Good identification of that submission by Rob McCullough. Donald Cerrone has a lethal triangle.
And he's throwing multiple moves at him.
Again, look at Donald Cerrone, though. That's what really impresses me. Look how composed the guy is. I mean, I guess when you're sparring with, like, Dwayne Bang Ludwig all the time. Armbar. He's got it. Wow. How is Rob McCullough not tapping to that?
Look at that.
Donald Cerrone is close. Rob McCullough,
What amazing defense by McCullough.
I would have called that a submission and done. I don't know how he was able to alleviate the pressure on the arm.
And McCullough connects on a straight right.
That right hand, again, just Donald needs to pick that left hand up a little bit. It's the only really opening that he really has in his game that's leaving it for Rob McCullough to come in.
McCullough may be wounded, but he is still firing off huge shots.
Donald Cerrone has some power.
Oh, no question.
Good leverage, you know. He comes in, even his jab, he's putting his hip behind it. You can see how he's stepping down the same exact time that his jab is hidden. Has a lot of pop on that. And he's using his jab not just as a rangefinder, but it's another weapon.
I'll tell you what, we've seen action just in a round and a half. We've seen a lot of fights that go 5 rounds.
You know, Rob McCullough can start maybe if he comes in, you know, closes the distance with his jab and fires an overhand right, that's still an opportunity for him to land that shot because of Donald Cerrone's posture with his left hand. There, the right hand again lands. Again, you know.
Oh,
right hand
McCullough.
again. Right hand again. I mean, I guess we all see it besides Donald. Yeah. Pick your hand up. Rob McCullough now, that's keeping him in the fight there. He's landing those shots over and over again.
The momentum has swung in this fight back and forth.
See, there he kind of had his left hand a little bit.
Brought it up.
And he caught that on the elbow. That saved him from having to eat a shot. I mean, he has a great chin. I mean, he's taking shots. But, you know, you want to talk to your grandchildren and tell them what you did when you were younger, you know?
Less than a minute to go here in round number 2 in this terrific lightweight bout between Razor Rob McCullough in the black trunks, the Cowboy, Donald Cerrone in the white with the black trim. Both men have gone to the canvas multiple times.
Nice roundhouse. That's a classic, you know, the left hook, right roundhouse. You throw a left hook to push your opponent's weight on the leg that you want to attack, being his lead left leg, and then that way it's hard to check with your shin because it's hard to pick your leg up when your weight's on it. So you throw the left hook, right roundhouse. Wow, he's just
shots of the night just keep coming. Under 10 seconds to go here in round number 2. Will we see a third and final round?
Nice body kick. I'm glad that we're seeing Rob McCullough fighting at the top level right now. It's a beautiful fight.
We will go to a third round when we come back.
You hit him like 3 or 4 times ago. You just got to put a left.
Back inside the Seminole Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida, as we go into the corner of Razor Rob McCullough.
Hey, right hand, left high. And on position on top, you're staying in great position, bro. You can look for the takedown at this point to score.
One guy's got to go.
A tale of 2 rounds here. First, Donald Cerrone continues his sharpshooting, but right on the button. Yeah, just that left jab.
Accurate, steps in with the jab. He does a switch step there. That's him. He's switch stepping through the right hand, came up with the uppercut, the lead uppercut on the left side. Yeah, I can't believe he got out of this armbar. I mean, I guess right now, the closer look, I can see that his elbow wasn't that deep, but guys have tapped from less, and Donald Cerrone was trying to transition for a triangle.
All right, last round. You ready? Last round.
Well, at this point, Frank, what are you more impressed with, the patience and composure of Donald Cerrone or the escapability and the just warrior attitude of Rob McCullough?
Both are impressive, I got to be honest. Donald Cerrone, though, has impressed me. I mean, he's standing toe-to-toe with our good Rob McCullough. Rob McCullough's shown up in the past, not at top form, and shown, you know, chinks in his armor at those times. But right now, he's fighting, I think, an excellent, you know, to his ability. This is a good version of Rob McCullough. He's brought his A game, and Donald Cerrone's standing there with him.
Changing angles, trying to sneak one through, and Cerrone just keeps bringing.
Donald Cerrone has an excellent repertoire of kicks, hands. Like I said, the only thing I've made a remark on all night was where he keeps his left hand, which...
And he goes on the shoot, and McCullough was not expecting that.
No, that's smart. His corner probably called that. I mean, Greg Jackson, his corner of Donald Cerrone, is an excellent MMA coach. Really a smart, well-rounded guy. He probably called that to go ahead and score a point, get Rob McCullough down, get the mount right now. He's scoring points by doing so that way in the eyes of the judges, this is clear cut here. The battling back and forth of exchanging of strikes, you know, that can be up to whose opinion, where you are on the cage, what you're seeing. You know, you might not see the same shot I see, you know. So, but with a takedown to a pass to a mount, that's pretty clear cut. Ooh, the knee was there, huh?
Oh, big shot, almost connecting with the liver.
Yeah, that's a painful place. I've been kicked there before, even with shin pads on. It sucks to get kicked in your hip.
Well, we've seen that before. The fighter will just drop.
Yeah, you get dropped in the hip to the rib area. It's right below the elbow. You get caught there in the floaters, the floating ribs, the ribs that don't connect true to the front. And it can be a devastating fight-ending blow.
Rob McCullough looks like he's trying to set up that big right hand, hoping to hit a home run with this one. The Cowboy has been susceptible. Cowboy just keeps coming forward and throwing an arsenal at Rob McCullough.
Yeah, Donald Cerrone's chin is helping him out here too because, what a beautiful. Right. Wow, that was great speed, set up. He faked the kick there and then put his foot down immediately and fired that straight right hand.
Cerrone's almost in amazement that he has not been able to drop McCullough and keep him down. He just keeps coming back.
He's using the jab now to time McCullough perfectly, which he should do. He's the taller fighter. He countered there with a nice counter right hand. If he can do that, if he can constantly make Rob McCullough eat his jab coming in, then keeping the left hand low is not as much of an issue. It's when Rob McCullough is able to close that distance with nothing hurting him, and we've seen in the middle of that second round, he landed, what, 4 unanswered right hands in a row?
Yeah, McCullough's straight right has been successful tonight. As we approach 2 minutes to go in the third and final round of this lightweight bout between the Cowboy Donald Cerrone and Razor Rob McCullough. Nice sprawl by McCullough. Cerrone, though, makes him pay when he comes up.
That was great. He shot in, tried to get the legs. Rob McCullough did a beautiful sprawl, and Cerrone backed out instead of getting caught in a front headlock, was able to come back up and throw some hands.
There's that right again from McCullough. Conditioning not a factor, I think, for either fighter. They are in great shape.
You know, and also not just being in shape, but they're fighting very economically. They know how to fight this style of a fight. They're both excellent strikers. and they're not wasting energy. They're fighting within rhythm, and they're
which is not to say we haven't had some great flurries.
no, not at all. They're not holding back. You know, it's just that they're not fighting out of the rhythm. They're not fighting with poor technique. So that makes it to where you're more economical. It's like a runner with a good stride. If he runs with his perfect stride, he can run longer. But if he shortens his stride or elongates his stride, he's running out of his own personal rhythm, and it's going to get him more tired.
Well, and what could be the fight of the night? We are into the final minute of this third and final round of this lightweight bout. Rob McCullough in the black trunks, Donald Cerrone in the white trunks.
Surprised Rob McCullough hasn't really just went ahead and thrown it all out the window looking for that right hand to land on Donald Cerrone. It's the only shot that he's been able to drop Donald with. Whereas Cerrone's came with a plethora of techniques. He's landed the left uppercut, the right hand, the switch kick. Oh, flying knee.
A veritable cornucopia of moves coming from the Cowboy.
Nice.
He shoots again
This could be
on
the
Razor
fight.
Rob.
That just, I think, just sealed the deal. The stand-up, you know, that could be whose opinion on who's doing what. But now Donald has a second takedown. If he can get the mount. Oh, here comes the knee.
Look at that. As hard as Rob McCullough has been rocked, he has done a fantastic job staying this fight. Oh, and he connects one more time to Cowboy, and McCullough stays on his feet, and that's it. It'll go to the judges.
I think that's pretty clear who won that fight.
What an absolute epic battle inside the cage.
Donald Cerrone's no joke. Right hand switch step, and he faded away to avoid any counter. Here he's gonna do a step, lead left knee. Oh, it was beautiful. He switch stepped into it, generated a lot of power.
That was 15 minutes of some of the most action-packed fighting we've seen
We got
in
to
a
see
long
some
time.
great strikes, and it wasn't just like it was one-sided. I mean, I feel, in my opinion, Donald Cerrone won the fight, but it wasn't like Rob McCullough was out of it. You know, that right hand kept landing, kept him in it.
It went the distance, 3 rounds. So we now go inside the cage. Joe Martinez has the judge's official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 intense rounds inside the cage, we go to the scorecards. And one more time, Hollywood, show your love for these 2 young men inside the cage. Here are your judges' scoring totals. Judge Tim Banana scores it 30-27. Judge Chris Lee has it 29-28. And Judge Hector Gomez scores it 29-27 for your winner by unanimous decision. And still undefeated, Donald Cowboy Cerrone!
Despite his string of submission victories, Cowboy proved he could also win on his feet. Thanks for watching. I'm Kendra Perez, and we'll see you here next time for the best of WEC.